Now, getting piped water into some rural parts of the country continues to be a challenge. According to the National Water Commission, at least 15% of Jamaicans do not have piped water in their homes. The Water Resources Authority says that's because these private and public entities have to see their value for money if water was to go to some of these places. TVJ Shamela Pullen reports.
Earlier this year, TVJ News carried a story that highlighted the plight of residents in John Reed Southwest St. Anne. The residents have been using contaminated water for years because they never had piped water in their community. But according to Corporate Public Relations Manager at the National Water Commission, Charles Buchanan, John Reed is not the only area in Jamaica without piped water. That community falls within the approximately 15% of Jamaicans who do not have water in their homes.
So the water sector policy recognizes that this approximately 15% of the Jamaican population would need to be served by non-municipal type water supply provision, whether it is through community or wayside tanks, whether it is through rainwater harvesting on an individual or on a group basis, or it is by the trucking of water.
Mr. Buchanan also pointed out that under the NWC Act, the utility company is not responsible for supplying water to every part of the country.
There are also other players in the water sector. There is a Rural Water Supply Company Limited of the government of Jamaica, which is also involved in projects, often in collaboration with the National Water Commission, but not necessarily in collaboration with us, to provide water supply and related services in rural areas.
Deputy Managing Director at the Water Resources Authority, Peter Clark, says getting piped water into deep rural areas is tricky.
In the rain time, it will then supply water. But then most of these persons actually have their own informal ways of providing their water when it does rain, which is catching the water, rainwater harvesting. So when they really need it is when it's not raining. And it is at that time that a lot of these sources become less reliable.
Mr. Clark says companies provide the water so they can make a profit.
Even the National Water Commission, the name is the National Water Commission, but they're actually in the business of selling water, which means that at the end of the day, they are going to consider an investment into a water supply system in terms of and the returns on that investment.
It is a decision municipal corporations will have to consider because they too are likely to lose money if they should take on this venture. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.